What's going on, everybody? I have a question for you. Did Jesus claim to be God? Let's get into it. I know many people say that Jesus was a good person, was a prophet, was an amazing teacher, but a lot of people say that Jesus never claimed to be God. The question is this actually true? So let's get into 4 quick points. Number 1, Jesus used the name God. Now, in John chapter 8, there's a whole lot going on where Jesus is having a conversation with the Jewish people and the Jewish leaders, and it all leads up to, who are you? And Jesus simply makes a statement and says, I am, which is a powerful statement. So go read all of John chapter 8, before and after, get the full context. I want to make a few points here, though. Jesus was speaking specifically to the Jewish leaders at this point. And instead of saying, I was, or specifically saying this, that, or the other thing, he makes this statement, I am. And they understand what that means. God's name revealed to Moses is what he chose. In the book of Exodus, chapter 3, starting in verse 14, Moses is walking up a mountain and he is stopped and captivated by a bush that's burning, but is not being consumed by the fire. And he has this whole conversation with God, and he is about to be sent out to set the Israelites free for the first time from Pharaoh. And Moses says, who should I say sent me? And God simply says, tell him that I am. And so Jesus is pointing and hinting back to this name that God used for himself. Now, the crowd understood what Jesus meant, and this brings me to my second point. Because once he said that, in the very next verse, it says that they took up stones to kill Jesus. Now, in Jewish law, it's blasphemy, and blasphemy is punished by stoning to compare yourself as equal to God. The religious leaders believed that he was claiming equality with God, and they felt righteous and right in what they were about to do. If Jesus had only claimed to be a teacher, this reaction wouldn't have made any sense. Now, my third point I want to make is Jesus forgave sin. And in the old days, only God could forgive sin through a series of sacrifices and rituals and stuff like that. But in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 2, verse 5, he simply says, Jesus, son, your sins are forgiven. Now, the reaction of the religious leaders 2 verses later says, who can forgive sin but God alone? In their own understanding, only God could forgive sin. Jesus not only forgave the man, he also healed the man to prove his authority here on earth. My fourth and final point that I want to make is Thomas calls Jesus God. In the book of John, chapter 20, verse 28, Thomas simply says, my Lord, my God. This is one of the clearest statements in the New Testament where Lord and God can be tied together. There's a bunch of other verses and stories that have all of the stuff that I'm pointing within it. I'm just painting an overall picture so that you, the watcher, can go and dig deeper to everything that it is that I'm saying. Thomas the Apostle clearly calls Jesus God here. Jesus, if you notice, if you go read the full interaction, never corrects him. When angels come and appear and people are afraid and they bow down, angels bring correction because they want to make a distinction that there's nothing to fear. Also, I'm not God. I'm just a messenger. Jesus never corrects them, rightfully so. So here's what I want to close with. When we read the Gospels, Jesus clearly made claims that pointed to his divine identity. The real question is whether Jesus made the real question, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. The real question is not whether Jesus made these claims. The real question is, who do we believe that Jesus is? This is a powerful question that I want to leave you with. But if you go and read the interaction where Jesus looks at his disciples and he says, I know what they say about me, but what do you say about me? Who do you say that I am? And there's all of these answers. Well, some say you're Elijah, and some say you're this person, and some say you're that person. And Peter stands up and he says, you are the Son of God, for lack of better words. There's a couple more words that he says, but he says that you are the Son of God. And the response Jesus has is that God himself has revealed this truth to you. And so my question to you is this: who do you say that Jesus is? Is he a good teacher? Is he a prophet? Is he just a good person? Or is he truly the Son of God who came in the flesh, who died and shed his blood for your sins, who rose on the third day and ascended into heaven, where he sits at the right hand of God, and he will be coming back again to judge the nations. And by that time, it's over. It's a wrap. And so that question and how you answer it is pivotal to everything else that you would do in life. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you want to surrender your life to Jesus for the first time, if you need a Bible, I will send you one. I want to see every single person that's watching this video come into a relationship with Jesus Christ. I once hated God. I was once bound up in addiction to drugs and alcohol and crime, mental illness, all kinds of stuff. But Jesus set me free, and he can do it for you too. God bless you.